saying to me, folks, Big Doug here. You done know. Yeah, another one, quick one. Arsenal played Atletico Bilbao 3-0. You done know the settings. And listen, finally, the man got himself on the score sheet. Happy to see Gyokeres on the score sheet. He's looking sharper, he's looking fitter, doing the damn thing up top. Havertz came on, did a mad thing as well. But let's get into Victor Gyokeres because everyone was talking like this brother was like overweight, ain't got it, can't score with his head. My man showed you like today he can do that. My man showed you what he's about. Do you get what I'm saying? Victor Gyokeres. Listen, I'm excited. I'm excited because you know what? Yeah, that he's what we needed. Definitely what we needed. And you can see that the team has just changed the style of play. Everyone was asking about it from the Villarreal game. I've seen Bearman posting up videos talking about Arsenal need to change their style. They need to switch it up. They need to do things different. And you can see what they've been working on. Like, this is the thing. I've never doubted the team. Like, the team that we've got, yeah, is a team that has been, what can I say? A team that has been finishing second consecutively for the last 3 seasons, yeah? So a team like that knows what to do. Like, you just don't fall off. Yes, you can say that it has got ultra defensive because I feel like Arteta's had to try and adapt each season to try and win the league. So, he went ultra attacking. It didn't really work. They fell off. They burnt out. Didn't have the players. Then the next season, he went a bit more defensive, but we pushed it. It was attacking and defensive, and we pushed them to push City to the wire. Last game of the season, lost out by a point. Then last season, we go ultra defensive. Like, you know what I'm saying? Set pieces, kind of lose something in attack, but we still finished second. But what that shows me is that this team has the capability to do all three. They can be attacking, they can be free flowing, they can be defensively, they can be compacted. Like, you know what I'm saying? So all this talk about Arsenal falling out the top four and that they haven't got what it takes, everyone's got stronger. We've made signings, we've got stronger. So all this doubting, like, and all this panicking, for me, I don't get it. Yes, at times I get a bit edgy, especially in the transfer window when everyone's bringing in players, and I want the club to bring in players. But I never doubted that we wouldn't go and get a striker. I've always said we're going to get a striker, and it would have been between Gyokeres or Šeško. One of them was definitely going to come. My nightmare that what I wouldn't have wanted to happen was that we ended up with Ollie Watkins. But Gyokeres showed that he wanted to come to the club. He showed that he was willing to wait for that deal to happen, and we got the deal done. So I'm happy with it. And the brother's relentless. He presses relentless. Showed today he's got good feet, can drop a man. I see my man sliding off the side of the pitch. He played it to Calafiori. He took a shot, went over the bar. Showed twice that he's got it with his head. He can header the ball. Now, I don't understand why this narrative where just because the goals he scored weren't all headers is saying that he can't score with his head. If the ball's not being crossed into the box for him to score with his head and it's the feet, and all these goals are coming from playing with his feet, then that's where the goals are going to come from, isn't it? It's whatever, isn't it? He's a striker. The strikers going through academy setups, youth setups, they learn to like header crosses, they learn to score with their feet, they learn a lot of different things. So just to think that a striker of this caliber scoring this amount of goals can't header the ball is crazy. But he showed that today. Finally got his goal, finally broke his duck. I know I saw the everyone was hoping that the 007 was gonna come, but it never come. You get me? I see man counting it up and whatever. Done his thing today. I can't lie. He looked a bit tired when he got subbed, but he did his damn thing. So yeah, that being said, even Saka, the man that was looking hot today, I can't lie. I was a bit worried, bit concerned from the Villarreal game and some of the other games. It looked a bit lackluster. It looked a bit disjointed, but that's understandable. It's pre-season. You're gonna have, the squad chop and change, big amount of subs coming on, 4 or 5 players at a time, switching it up. Players playing in different positions, players trying out different combinations, seeing if things work, seeing what can happen. So, it is going to be a bit disjointed in pre-season. Even though you like to see your team just be on fire and blowing teams away, you also understand that they're trying new things, trying to develop new things, new tactics, new systems, new whatever in pre-season. You only have a certain amount of games to do that because, as we know, next week is the start of the the season and we go to Old Trafford. But yeah, man, everything looked tidy. We looked a lot better. We looked a lot more free flowing. We looked more attacking. We looked even more like defensively. Having Gabriel at the back in there just makes it so much more solid. Like he's the veteran. He's the leader in this squad where we are predominantly a young team. You have someone like Gabriel back from injury that looks like he's the general at the back, and someone that probably Saliba needed back, because Saliba, don't get me wrong, for how good he is, and we call him the Rolls Royce, he also needs someone to stand beside him and govern, and Gabriel is that man. You get what I'm saying? So it just looks so much better, so much more compact, so much more free flowing. And I'm telling you, this season, if we can, I've always said, if we can combine, you know, the past seasons, bits and bobs of what has come before, like, you know, the free flowing football and attacking the football of the first season, finishing second, and then you can bring in some of the defensive qualities of the second season and that surety and that closing out games, then in the defensive stability and the set pieces from last season, yeah, this team is definitely going to be a problem. And the thing is, all we can concentrate on and focus on is the games that we're playing and what we need to do. So if we can go out each week, get 3 points a point, like, you know, keep the conceding of goals down to a minimum and do our jobs, that's all we can do. But I feel like this team has the ingredients to do all of that. You know, you saw Madueke come on from Martinelli, and bear in mind, Martinelli didn't have a bad game. He actually played all right. Fair play to him. He did his thing. Still like a deer in headlights, looking down. But one thing I love about Martinelli, he don't stop. And I can understand this is why they didn't want to get rid of him, because he just keeps on running. He's got energy. He runs up and down the pitch. He does his defensive duties. He's one of those players that you just know what you're going to get out of him. You're going to get work rate out of him. And yes, his final product needs to be worked on. But hopefully seeing how Madueke is coming to the team. And listen, I know Strives is going to get onto me because we've had big debates. If you watch Loose Cannons, you will know. If you haven't watched it, go and watch the Loose Cannon episodes on my channel. But me and Strives, I said, you know what? I always said Madueke was going to come in and be back up to Saka. Obviously, he's going to play. Obviously, Arteta will play him on the left and did what. But I didn't feel like he was a signing that was brought in to play on the left. I felt like he has the capability to play there. But in the last few games that he's come on, he's played on the left-hand side as it stands right now. So I can admit when I'm wrong, and I can, you know, give credit where credit is due. Strive said he's coming to play, whatever that means, and he's playing, he's coming on, he's playing on the left-hand side. And I don't mind that. Listen, at the end of the day, our left side is short. Trossard didn't play today. He's obviously picked up a little injury or something. But I like Madueke on the left. Them crosses on his left foot is something different, because we've all got players, you know, with Martinelli and Saka, they both invert onto their preferred foot. Where you have someone who's a natural left footed on the left side, he has the capability to cross balls in with his left foot first time and not have to cut inside. And it just, you know, when you've got a striker like Gyokeres up front that can read the game, get in positions, it's always a threat having that. So I'm grateful for it. And Madueke had a great game, and I see the fans getting behind him in the stands, and I love that, because I feel like what we did was we're ungrateful. I feel like sometimes we just react. We're very reactive. Anything that happens, we throw our toys out the pram and go mad as Arsenal fans. And I feel like Madueke already is showing us he's a better addition than what Sterling was last season. Do you get what I'm saying? You know, we all got behind the Sterling signing. There wasn't no uproar like how it was for Madueke, but Madueke is definitely a better player. So we have to give him time. We have to allow him to get used to the team and get behind him. And he was good today. I'll give him that. He was good today. Nearly had an assist. Gyokeres had a diving header again, come off the post. And yeah, he was, you know, he put a few good balls into the box. You know, Saka nearly got on the end of one. So I'm happy with that. I'm happy with how he's bedding into the team and what he's trying to do. And we just have to give him time. But someone who I want to give a big shout out, and this one's going under the radar, because I feel like, because he was signed so early on, we knew from January we was getting Zubimendi, even though we were still not sure. you know, even though it was all done deals and here we goes, and it weren't till he was officially announced, we could say, okay, we've got him. But by then, the anticlimax, it's like an anticlimax because we'd all been, you know, waiting. But you know what? I'm glad that it's been like that because he's just slotting in quietly. Right now, he's showing that he can clean up. He's showing that he can control the tempo, play passes. He got the assist for Gyokeres' goal, so he's showing he's got the ability to find players, put balls into the box. You know, he can dribble with the ball, carry it out. He knows when to, you know, step up, step down. Like, listen, he is the total footballer, and I feel like he's going to be key for us this season, providing we can keep him fit. But also, Norgard in the Villarreal game showed qualities as well. So I think those are good signings that we have. And Mascara, like, oh my God, this guy, I'm telling you now, is the truth. And it's one of those ones where I feel like we are doing things that we've never done before, preempting the possibilities of departures and bringing in young talent. And I feel Mascara is one of those ones that he's so good that if Saliba was to get sold, doesn't sign a contract, and we sell him next season, I wouldn't be concerned knowing that we have Mascara to step in. And I think that's been the problem sometimes when we get worried about leaving players, is that we don't have the quality there to step into that position. It's almost like what you're seeing with Max Downham, who was rested today because they're saying, you know, they want to rest the player. And I get it, because one thing you don't want to do, especially with what the English media do, is jump on these players and, you know, try to blow them up. You know, I can understand that Arsenal are managing his minutes and managing the way that he is exposed out there, and I respect it and I get that, and I'm all for it. But when you have someone like Max Downham that can play on that left side, naturally gifted, I don't even want to say all the things that are like what being flying out there, but he is the truth in terms of the youth that are coming through right now. He's definitely the truth. You now have a player that can play out on the right, and it makes you feel that if there was a time that we did need to cash in on Saka, even though he is our golden boy and I would never want to see him leave. But one thing Arsenal need to stop doing is getting so attached to players that we miss the point of when to sell them and to cash in on them. And that's the thing. I think one thing we need to do better is knowing when to sell and to sell for good money. Because one thing you've seen in this window that have allowed Liverpool to pursue Isak is that they sold players for good money. Chelsea as well, selling players for good money. Most clubs manage to sell players for good money, and Arsenal the only club that struggle when it comes to making money, especially off our academy. You see our academies everywhere. Players that have come from Arsenal Academy are all over. When you actually deep how much money Arsenal have probably made off of these players, I would be surprised if it mounts up to 100 million over the years. Do you get what I'm saying? Because we've had so much talent that have gone for free, gone for less than nothing, gone for, you know, peanuts. You know what I'm saying? So yes, having the good players coming through will allow us to be able to sell some superstars later down the line, which, yeah, I'm attached to them as well. I don't want to see none of our players go. But at some point they have to, you know, like, and even maybe next season we'll have to cash in on Havertz. And let me tell you as well, Havertz, big shout to Havertz as well. Came on, showed the strength. He's been bulking up in the pre-season, showed it today, held the two defenders off, dribbled, slotted it bottom corner. I haven't really seen nothing like that from Havertz. And maybe having someone like Gyokeres there and learning of Gyokeres and seeing that is going to rub off on Havertz and he's going to be better. And having those two options, if they can stay fit, would be lovely. Even also knowing that we have Jesus, who's coming back from injury, may get sold this summer, may not. But if we have him there as well, if someone does get injured, then you know you've got Jesus who's sitting there waiting to play. So things looking much better than when they were before. Arsenal looking dangerous, the back four's looking solid, midfield looking tidy. Big up Declan Rice, big up the man them. Odegaard now back slotting passes in behind. Thank God, even though he drives me crazy at times. And man that know me, no, I get onto Odegaard at moments, but because I know he's so much better than what he shows at times. And I feel like now having willing runners, having players that are playing within the lines and making runs that can allow him to play his best game, we might see a different Odegaard this season. I hope. I'm rooting for him. Even though I jump on him and I get carried away and I say certain things about him, I am actually rooting for him to do well. I want him to do well. Do you get what I'm saying? So all in all, today was a good day. Sets us up nicely for the United game, who drew today 1-1. Looking a lot better, United. Big up to them as well. looking a lot better, but I still feel there's a lot going on there. And it's only pre-season, and a game at Old Trafford. Listen, it's Old Trafford. It's Man United. That's a never easy fixture, and they're gonna be up for that game, and they're not gonna want to get turned over in their backyard. But off of the back of what we showed this game, I feel much more at ease going into the United game at Old Trafford start of the season than I did maybe a week ago, 2 weeks ago. So yeah, let's go. Also, those that haven't checked it out, go and check out Lean Gang, my clothing brand. You see, I'm rocking one of the new tees, hats. They're available as well. Go check the merch out. Make sure you check it. The link for the website will be in the description. Big up everyone. You done know. Big Doug, quick reaction thing, and we out.